Experience better days with a bigger, better 4G. Hutch 4G, now bigger and better.
The infected girl is identified as a third-year student studying at the management faculty of the University of Jayawardhanapura. The girl had resided in a private boarding house in the area of Gangodavilla with two other friends and an aunt of one of the friends. The aunt was, however, identified as an employee of the Minuwangoda factory. Vice-Chancellor of the University of Jayawardhanapura, University Professor Sudanta Liyanage, stated that the students currently housed in the Faculty of Management at the university are instructed not to leave the premises. In the meantime, the infected girl was transferred from the base hospital in Panadura to the Infectious Diseases Hospital in Angoda, while her family members residing in the area of Derana were subjected to PCR tests today. Meanwhile, after a 9-month-old infant tested positive for Covid-19 yesterday at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital, an attendant who had been in the same ward with the infant also tested positive for the virus today. The attendant, who is a resident of Polonnaruwa, had been residing at the Silmata Monastery along the Leslie Ranagala Mawata in Borella and had not been to Polonnaruwa for about a month. Accordingly, the resident of the Silmata Monastery and their contacts were subjected to PCR tests today. Elsewhere, authorities took steps to temporarily close the Dik Ovita fishing harbour today after a fisherman aboard a multi-day trawler tested Covid-19 positive. The patient was identified as a 28-year-old resident of the area of Amakkandavilla in Chilau, had developed a fever while he was on a fishing trip and had then returned to a shore, after which he was transferred to the Ragama Teaching Hospital. With that, 5 others that were aboard the fishing trawler were also directed to quarantine. Health sources say that the patient identified from the area of Amakkandavilla in Chilau had gone on a trip to Nuwara with another patient who had previously tested positive for the virus.
අඹකන්දවිල ප්‍රදේශයේ පළමු ආසාදිතයා සමග ළඟින්ම ඇසුරක් තිබුණු පුද්ගලයෙක් දෙවනි ආසාදිතයා විදිහට වාර්තා වෙනවා. ඔහු දීවරයා මූදේ ඉඳිද්දි තමයි යම් රෝග ලක්ෂණ පහළ වීම නිසා දික්කෝවිට වරායට ඇවිල්ලා එතනින් PCR පරීක්ෂණ කරලා මේ වෙද්දි තහවුරු වෙලා තියෙන රෝගියෙක් කියලා. පලාවත අඹකන්දවිල ප්‍රදේශයේ රෝගියා සහ ඔහුගේ ආශ්‍රිතයින් සහ ඔහු සමග ගනුදෙනු කරපු පුද්ගලයන් අපි මේ වෙද්දි සාර්ථකව අඳුනගෙන තියෙන නිසා තවදුරටත් ඉදිරියට පැතිර යාමේ අවදානමක් අපිට පේන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා සංචරණ සීමා පැනවීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවයක් මේ වෙනකොට
In other developments, with the curfew being imposed in 18 police areas in the Gampaha district, 6 persons have been arrested for violating curfew regulations within the last day. This places the total number of persons arrested thus far since the curfew was imposed in certain areas in the Gampaha district at 97. In the meantime, the total number of active cases within the country stand at 1,204, while the number of patients that have recovered thus far stand at 3,306. Meanwhile, 3 members of the minor staff at the National Hospital in Colombo have tested positive for Covid-19. The Minister of Health said that 3 wards and an operating theatre were temporarily closed following the novel coronavirus situation at the hospital.